everyone. Welcome to church today. I was due to get my hair cut this week, and I'm wondering how many others of you out there are going for the shaggy look at the moment. I know that some of you, my husband included, have gone to the other extreme and just cut it all off. Well, God bless you, but I'm going the shaggy route, and I'm rejoicing in that, and I'm just reaching out in solidarity today to all you other shaggies out there. May the end come soon. So here we are again. This isn't how we would choose to do church, but we're doing what we have to do, and God is still at work. In fact, he's even more at work than he was before, I think, in ways that we won't appreciate until after this is all over and we're able to look back. I'm missing very much being able to gather together, worship together and pray together. They're core defining things about us as the family of God, and we're in a season of famine for those things just now. So I want to tell you about two things that we're going to do where we can connect a bit more and interact together. Tomorrow evening, Monday evening, we're going to meet for a time of prayer online on Zoom. We did it for the first time last month and we had a really lovely time together, so we're going to do it again. Meeting together to pray is the engine room of the church. We can't expect God to be at work in our lives, in our church, in our community and in our nation if we are not coming together as his people to seek him together and to pray together. The absence of prayer together weakens us, and it weakens the work of God's Spirit in us as a church. So that's what we're going to do. Tomorrow evening at 7:30, we're going to seek strength through him. Most of you should have had an email about that with the link in it to join the meeting. But if you haven't had that, please email one of us and we'll send it to you. God will bless us as we spend time together with him, and we'll be strengthened by it. And secondly, we're going to do an online communion on Zoom. That one will be in a couple of weeks' time on Monday, the 18th of May. I'm just giving you advance notice of that one. I've been wanting for ages to find a way of spending more time around the communion table, of not always just having to fit it in as part of a bigger service, but just to focus on gathering around the table as a standalone thing and be able to spend a bit more time together there, meeting with God and receiving from him. So on the 18th of May at 8 p.m, I'm going to lead a quiet, reflective time of communion on Zoom. It'll be about half an hour or so, and there'll be time and space for you to just be quiet and spend time with God. We'll use some words and some scriptures to guide us in that. And then we'll break bread and drink wine together. You'll need to have your own at home to do that, but doing it by Zoom gives us that added bit of togetherness because we can share in it at the same time, in unity with each other, even if we can't be in the same room and share the same bread. Communion is a really important part of our life together as church, and I feel it's really important that we still practice it together. So please make it a priority if you can. I've made it 8 p.m, so hopefully little ones can be in bed and you can just take half an hour or so to come together and spend some time together at the Lord's table. Today, Simon and our young people are going to lead our prayers, and Tim Provost is going to bring our message. We're continuing our series that we started last week, This Hope That We Have, as we explore what hope means in these difficult times and look to understand better and more clearly what our hope is and why it matters. Today we're going to look at Jesus, and I want to start by reading some verses from Romans. This version I'm going to read is the Passion Translation, and when I read this, I just felt I had to share it this morning because I think this is just remarkable as we spend these next few weeks looking at assurance and hope. This is from Romans chapter 8. It's a well-known passage, but hearing it in these words makes it fresh in a new way. So what does all this mean? If God has determined to stand with us, tell me, who then could ever stand against us? For God has proved his love by giving us his greatest treasure, the gift of his Son. And since God freely offered him up as the sacrifice for us all, He certainly won't withhold from us anything else he has to give. Who then would dare to accuse those whom God has chosen in love to be his? God himself is the judge, who has issued his final verdict over them, not guilty. Who then is left to condemn us? Certainly not Jesus, the Anointed One. For he gave his life for us, and even more than that, he has conquered death and is now risen, exalted and enthroned by God at his right hand. So how could he possibly condemn us, since he is continually praying for our triumph? Who could ever separate us from the endless love of God's Anointed One? Absolutely no one. For nothing in the universe has the power to diminish his love toward us. Troubles, pressures and problems are unable to come between us and heaven's love. What about persecutions, deprivations, dangers and death threats? No, for they are all impotent to hinder his omnipotent love. It's good, isn't it? Maybe come back and play that bit again at the end to really let it saturate your heart. It's worth hearing twice. But for now, we've got some songs. First a hymn and then a song. Both of them speaking of the love Jesus has for us and our dependence on him.